everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Welcome. Welcome to EssentialPhoto. Welcome to the photography show. My name is Emma Finch. I'm a professional portrait photographer based in Manchester. All the way from Hollywood. He's a very busy man. We have got the Joker today, Graham Currey, my business partner. We run photography workshops and portrait training in the studio and on location. So we're going to be showing you how to take moody portraits of a character today. We're using strip boxes. I'm going to show you how to use a strip box. We're going to do a 1 light setup and a 2 light setup. So we're keeping it very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Lights that we're using today, we're using the brand new Godox AD200 Pro 2s. They are absolutely fantastic. We've just got our hands on them, and they are superb. There's a show price on today, which is £260.99. The battery life is fantastic. The reason why we use PiXAPRO, and we've used PiXAPRO for 10 years now, since we've been running events. They're battery powered. There's no cables to trip over. The battery life is fantastic, and on these new ones, you've got 500 full power flashes. So your battery life is superb. You've got modeling lamp, so you can see how the light is going to hit before you've shot it. But also, it goes down to 512th, so you've got real precision with your lighting. So if you're really crafting a scene, you've got that whole scope to really reduce your light if you want to. So that's the lights we're using today. Backdrop that we're using, which I've really got my eye on because I think it's gorgeous, is the olive hand-painted backdrop. And we're using, firstly, we're using 1 light modifier, which will be a strip box. Strip box, if you haven't used one before, it's a very modified light source. So the light goes in the back, and it's coming through 2 layers of diffusion. So even though it's a rectangular shape, it's still quite a soft light. The reason why you would use a strip box rather than an octabox, and if you were here this morning, you might have seen us doing the fine art lighting demo with Captain Cook, and we were using the octaboxes. We wanted to show you the strip box today because you've got a bit more control with the light. You can really craft the light. You've got a thinner sort of shape of light. You can either use it for a full body shot, so if you're doing fashion work or something like that and you need that full strip of light, so you can either use it for a full body shot, you can use it for rim lighting, which a lot of people do, so having it behind, using it as a hair light, separation from the background, and we'll show you a little bit of that as well. And you can just really use it to put a bit more drama into your lighting. So I'm going to tether. We're going to do a 1 light setup, then we'll do a 2 light setup. We might even do a 3rd light setup, and then we're going to let you take some shots yourself with triggers. So let me get my tethering working first of all, then hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and hopefully I can see what I'm doing this time. By the way, if you want any more information or really technical information, if you're interested in placing an order, you can speak to anyone in the black shirts or the red shirts. The EssentialPhoto team are there to help. They'll answer any questions you've got. They're taking sales today. You don't have to carry them back on the train with you. They will post the equipment to you. So if you want any more information after the demo, you can speak to all the experts are just around this corner. Settings-wise, the power on the light is on 1/4 power. That's usually where I'm at when I'm in the studio. You can see that it's fairly close to our subject. The other thing to point out with strip boxes is if you're working in a tight space, and not everyone's got a studio, so if you're on location, or if you're working from home, or if you've got a tiny studio like I have, working with a strip box which takes up a bit less space is really helpful. So this is on 1/4 power. It's fairly close to him. Settings on the camera at the moment, I'm on 7.1. Usually for studio, you want to be around f8. I'm going to take a shot and just have a look and see what we've got. I'm on ISO 100. ISO 100 because we're not trying to, we don't want the camera to add any extra light in. We're in full control of the lights today with our lights here, with the studio lights here. And I'm on 160 on the speed. 160 because he's not dancing or pirouetting or, I mean, maybe later, but he's fairly well behaved. He's fairly stationary, so we're not going to get any movement. It's enough to keep it nice and sharp, but we're not going to get that black band that comes across. So if you're shooting at, a really high speed, like 250, without going into high speed sync, you're going to get that black band that comes into your images. So I'm using very standard studio lighting settings today. Let me take a test shot and we'll show you what we're getting. Okay, so very, very moody. We've just got this one light source. This is the key light. The key light means it's the light that's doing the most work to light his face. Now that is very moody. Even we're in a big space with lots of lights, and we're using a TV screen to project. So it's probably a bit moodier than it would be if I looked at the raw file on the computer. But you can see the light is only hitting the front of him. We're not really getting too much light onto the background. With strip boxes, you get a lot less spread than with an octabox. So it'll come out a little bit from here, but it's not really going to hit the background unless we put it a lot closer to the background. Now, for me, I like moody, but that's very moody. A couple of things we can do if we want to make it brighter or darker. We could move the light closer to him. It's already quite close to him, so I'm not going to move it closer. The other thing we could do is turn the light up. But again, I don't want to turn the light up. I'm lazy. The trigger's in my hand. The camera's in my hand. I'm just going to open up my aperture. So I was on 7.1. I'm just going to go to 6.3 just to give it a little bit of extra light. So you can see it's just given it just that little bit of extra light. I think you probably would be able to pick up a bit more of the green background on the actual original images. What we can do if we want more of the green to come through is we can move this light a little bit closer to the backdrop. By the way, these are easy open strip boxes, so they collapse down really quickly. You're not going to lose a finger or chip a nail with these. So they collapse down really easily, and they come with a carry bag. They also come with a grid, and I'm going to show you what the grid does in a second. So we're just going to do one more test shot. We've got this closer to him. Angle it a little bit towards that backdrop, just so that we can see a little bit more of that gorgeous green color. There, so you can see, I can certainly see on the back of the camera, you can start to see the green coming through, you can see the texture in the backdrop. I'm just going to put the grid on to show you how you might use a grid, and then we're going to go to a two-light setup, because for me it's moody, but I want a bit more light behind him. But let me just show you a grid first of all. So all modifiers come with a grid. The grid is a sort of a honeycomb shape that goes on the front of your light, and what that will do is that will guide your light and direct your light into a certain direction. So if you don't want any light spill, if you want to be really precise with your lighting, and you only want your lighting to light in the exact direction in which it's pointed, that's when you would use a grid. So if we look at this one, we're getting a hint of green. Now that we've put the grid on, we haven't changed anything else. It will probably go even moodier. I hope you like moody, because this is going to be really moody. See how moody it goes. So if, for example, say you're working on location. Hello. Say you're working on location and you haven't got the backdrop, and it's a busy background and it's not the background that you want. By putting the grid on, I mean, I could turn this whole thing, I won't. I could turn this whole thing round and shoot this, and it would still be black behind, and you wouldn't see all of you, because it's really just directing the light. It's literally just lighting this It's not going there. It's not going there, and it's not going there. So it's literally just lighting this bit of him. So that's when you would use a grid if you want sort of real precision with your lighting. I'm going to take this off because we want to see a bit of him, a little bit of him, a bit more of him. So we'll take the grid off. We'll go back to the just the strip, and I'm going to introduce a second light. So this is our second light. I'm pretty much just going to sandwich him. So it's going to be a Joker sandwich, really. I'm going to have them both on the same power. No, I might put this a bit lower, actually. I might go on an 1/8 with this. We'll have a look and see. You'll see I'm a very visual photographer. I don't use a light meter. I take a look at back of camera, see what I think. Does it need extra light? Does it look right? Does it feel right? If it feels right to me, it's fine. I don't use light meters and things like that. It's not, for me, it's not a very precise science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the second light, the fill light, on an 1/8. So that's doing half the power of this one, and I've just got him sandwiched between the two. So I'm just going to take the same shot, and what we're looking for is this, just to add a little bit of light down the back of his hair and the back of his jacket, so he's not lost too much into the background. Yeah, so you can see the fill light has actually added some extra light onto the background. It's got that rim light down his back, not so much on his hair. We just do one more shot, and if you go a bit more upright, hopefully we'll catch the hair. The other thing, if we wanted to do that pose where he's more hunched, we could, of course, raise it and angle it over his hair a little bit more. But let's just do this one. So you're getting a hint of light on the back of his head. He's not blending too much into the background. When you're adding a fill light or a hair light, you want just enough light to be able to see the hair and to see where the hair separates from the background, but without it being so bright that you've got a big flash of light at the back of the head. Lightest part of any image, of any portrait, should be the face. It should be the first thing that you look at. The eyes should go straight to the face, straight to the eyes. So we always want to make sure that the lighting is set that way. If there's the brighter light in the image and the back of him is lit more than the front of him, you're looking at the back of his head, you're not looking at his face. And what a fabulous makeup job he's done today. I feel like my makeup looks a little bit like that now, actually, after my third demo. What I usually do with rim lighting is point it at their shoulders, behind them. So the light is slightly behind them, slightly pointed towards us as photographer. And I'm going to put them both on the same power. So at the moment, this is our key light, which is on 1/4. But I'm also going to put that one on 1/4 as well. So it really is a Joker sandwich. Okay, so they're both on 1/4. Let's take a test shot and see what we're getting. Because I've pulled the angle of the strip box off the backdrop should go darker now, and it should go moodier because the light is slightly behind him. So the backdrop's darker. You've got that sort of strip of light down either side. So this is good if you're doing corporate headshots or something like that. You could use this setup, but also have an octobox at the front to light the face. So it's really nice for separation from the background. It's good for a hair light. So particularly if you've got someone with dark hair, dark background, and you want that separation. You don't want your person to blend too much into the background. That just adds a little rim of light that sort of adds that separation from the background. Graham, I'm just going to get you to look sort of over this way. So you can make it as moody as you want, basically. If he is right between the two lights, he'll be more lit. He can come way out here, even, and you get a tiny sliver of light. In fact, let's test that a little bit. If you come a little bit further out, I mean, there's a point in which the lights will miss him altogether. So let's have a look at that. That might be too moody, but let's see. So you can see if you're doing something with real sort of precision and you like it dark and moody, then if you pull them out from that light, it will become darker. And then, Graham, if I can ask you to go a bit more back between the two lights. We'll just do another shot. And then he's got more light on his face. So just moving a couple of inches one way or the other can make it more moody or less moody, depending on what you want to do. I just want to show you one more setup. I want to get a bit more of the background in, because I love the background. And what we're going to do is angle this down and raise it up higher. And I'm going to put it really close to the backdrop. Yeah, just a tiny bit closer. Let's try that. So we've raised this up higher. We've angled it down towards him. So his key light source is coming from above. Usually I would say if your light is high, get your person to lift the chin up towards that light. You always want light in the eyes. With it being a Joker, with it being a character, I don't think it's just as critical. I mean, if you've got dark eyes with the Joker, does it matter? Maybe that's what you want. If this was a beautiful female model, I would say, chin up, get that light in the eyes. He's not beautiful. With the Joker, we're not so bothered. He's got dark eyes anyway, so let's see. I'm just going to angle this round a little bit just to get a little bit of a hint more light on him. And I think I'll turn this one down because I really want that light source to be coming from there. This is just going to be a small amount of fill. So let me turn down that second light. I'm going to go to a 16th, actually. I'm just winging this. I'm guessing it. I only want a tiny bit of light behind him just to add some separation. And let's just have a look and see what we're getting. Yeah. Well, you don't have to. Yeah, no, look up to start with. So you can see how it can feel quite cinematic, quite dramatic. I do like a highlight, actually. If you keep that chin up, but have your eyes about here, hang on, maybe around a bit more. Let's try that. So just because he's a bit more out of the light, so it's a bit moodier. If you can you lean back towards that backdrop a little bit? That's it. And then eyes about there. Chin up just a bit higher. Eyes back round, about here. The difficulty I find when I'm working with models in the studio is when you say, look at the light, they'll go, you'll get a lot of side eye. What I've started to say is chin up towards the light. But then I'm usually sort of waving my hand in the air going, eyes over here, eyes over here. Usually when you get too much side eye, it can make them look a bit creepy. It's kind of what we want, actually, with Graham. So it doesn't really matter. But if you're doing something, if you're shooting for beauty, you don't want too much side eye. You want, ideally, the pupil in the middle with whites either side of the eye. He is a creepy character anyway, so I don't think it matters too much, the side eye. But anyway, over here, there, try that. Lean back a little bit towards that backdrop, that's it. Yeah, so I like that. So this light is firing on a 16th. It's barely doing anything, but it's just adding just enough that he's not blending too much into that backdrop. And then the light here is our key light source, and it's quite high. The other thing about having the light quite high, and you'll know because I said this before this morning if you're watching, having the light high gives good definition under the jawline. I'm slightly obsessed about good jawlines, and having your light source a bit higher gives that dark shadow and the definition under your jawline. So if you're working with someone who is a little bit conscious of a double chin, having your light source that bit higher rather than having it coming from underneath and then you're kind of getting that kind of a thing. So what time is it? 25 past. So I'm just going to recap what we're using, and then I'm going to let you shoot as well. So these are easy open strip boxes. They come with the carry case, they come with the grid, so you can create the really moody stuff that we saw before. The lights are the Godox 8200 Pro 2s. They are brand new, and this is the olive hand-painted backdrop. So that's the kit that we have used today. If you want to shoot, if you get your camera settings ready, and I will give you a trigger. So camera settings that I was using were f8. No, I wasn't. I was on 6.3. 6.3, ISO 100, 160 on the speed. So I would always have your fill light lower than your key light. You don't want any light brighter than the light that is lighting the face. I'm Emma Finch. This is Currey. Together we are Session Days. Who would like to shoot? Oh, lots of people.